Lois Lane, issue 2, Greg Rucka writing with Mike Perkins on the art. And we have conspiracies, we have the question, and we still have lots of tabloid gossip about Lois Lane cheating on Clark. Because
it's more of the same.
Yeah.
In the best possible way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really fault that description of it.
Concerned Perry, but also disappointed parent.
Yeah,
Perry.
and more spelling corrections
But you know what is like she misspells but she never misspells the name of the people that she's writing about, which completely befuddles.
Yes.
Perry, which I love. That's why I think I love Rucka so much. Is he's a really good storyteller when it comes to intrigue and espionage and all this, but it's the little like character human moments like that with even with the question and Lois talking with one another. That's where this really ups the level.
Yeah. Just to be fair to Lois, I will often typo the word as T-E-H. That's not an uncommon occurrence for myself.
Right. I think there's a typo and a misspelling, and I feel like...
Oh, there's differences, don't get me wrong,
Yeah, because the rest of them are definitely misspellings, where, detention should have a U in it, according to Lois.
Yeah.
Detention.
No version of detention ever has a U, Lois.
I'm pretty sure detention had you in it a lot, Matt.
Yeah. So
I'm here all week, folks.
And I went right over his head as well.
It didn't, because I've never been to detention, because I was a good boy. Anyways, Lois is taking the fight to the government here with freedom of the press, and it opens up with this, tabloidy. Her relationship with Superman, and how does Clark Kent feel? They've been married for 12 years, and Clark and her are walking, and we kind of saw this scene in another issue. I want to say it was in one of the Bendis books, either in Leviathan or
I think it was issue 1 of this.
Was it?
It was either issue 1 of this or it was the special.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But him basically saying like, how do you deal with this? Like I'm gonna handle it. She's like, well, no, because then you just play into their hands. I'm a big girl and I'm tough. Like, let me handle it the way that I know how, and that's not addressing it. Eventually it'll blow over. But Superman's not like that. He's a guy that can hear everything all the time. So, and I've never related to Superman more, because people tell me to just let stuff go all the time. Yeah, and y'all better believe I don't. So
I don't know if your temper is comparable with Superman's quest for justice for all.
When I get really upset, I do have this hypervigilance thing where, yeah. So anyway, and there's the question, really fun scene.
Oh yeah,
where she sneaks into the basement. She looks like she's a wino or a drunk. Has what I'm going to assume, because they're in Russia, a vodka bottle.
It's a reasonable assumption.
Yeah, right. A taxi's ever looking over this reporter that committed suicide by jumping out a window. Gets to her apartment in this basement, and it just looks like there's a murder scene.
Yeah,
definitely wasn't suicide.
They didn't even try and cover it.
To quote the hit film Mystery Men, fell out of a window onto some bullets.
Yeah. So, but yeah, and
I love that Connor was worried where I was going with that.
Yeah, I was waiting for
I got to quote the hit, and I was like, bloody dare.
No, we see her and the question meet up, and they're in a burger place, and what I like about this scene is this idea that Lois is like, no, the best way to hide is to not try and overhide. Like, just be out in plain sight and act like everything's normal. If you act suspicious, people will notice you. But she confronts this Agar about
which, as a Thor fan, I'm going, wait.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. In my head, I was thinking Dario Agar as soon as she said that name.
Is he gonna turn into a Minotaur?
that would be on brand for Rucka.
Yeah, right.
He actually, that's actually quite a dark scene, because he does threaten to punch her in the face, and she's like, go for it. With all these witnesses, go for it.
Yeah.
You'll make my job easier if you do that.
And it's also because she's uncovering that, and again, this where it hits a little bit real life, ripped from the headlines. that she wants to ask him about his company's investments, and we come to find out that in the story that she puts out, that company is funding detainment camps at the border, and they're getting super rich off of them because they gave money to Department of Homeland Security. So again, that's Rucka playing with real stuff.
Yeah, the phrase "fake news" is even used at one point, and the guy says that to her.
Yeah,
and so it plays up where that there's a class of people right now that really hate the media, and not for like the media, doing what they do and trying to maintain this false sense of balance, because to them it's worse to be seen as not balanced than to actually report the news. Lois is actually reporting the news, and that's why he doesn't like her.
Yeah. And he agrees to meet her later. Just obviously not there right in public, which seems a bit sketchy, but obviously we'll get to that. Then there's a scene with Perry on the phone where we mostly talked about this stuff earlier with all the misspellings
and she's doing her writer stretches, which I remember from writing long reports in college. Banging out a whole 20-page screenplay in a night.
Many a time, Matt. Many a time I've done that.
You gotta get your stretches in.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that must be from Rucka's real life.
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the things that I've heard is that one of the biggest threats to like health in general right now is that so many of us work sitting down, and that they really recommend that everyone gets up and just walks around for a little bit once per hour because it's killing our bodies.
Sedentary lifestyle. So I thought that was fun there. And the stuff with Perry we talked about earlier, but she goes to meet. She has questions back up, which I love. Like, I hope this becomes a thing where, when Bendis was writing Daredevil, you got to know a lot of the supporting cast.
Oh yeah,
like you had Iron Fist show up, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones. I hope now going forward throughout Superman that we get Renee and Lois talking and teaming up.
I just want to just before we move on to this scene proper, I like the final panel of the Perry scene where just again to add to the mood of the sort of the noir kind of detective-y style of it. We go to this shot outside her window when it's raining, and it's just this kind of look back in at her as she finishes the conversation. Is this really kind of like ominous, like shady stuff's going down soon, and she's hoping for the best, but it is dangerous. I don't know. It just added a lot to the mood to the book for me. Just little things like that.
I actually think the art got better as it went on because we started in broad daylight, right? In the morning, and I think once we got to evening and night and the darker scenes, I think the art just naturally suits that better. Perkins is very really heavy shadows. I think it plays into the dark time of night much better.
Also, I got really confused for a second because the dress that Lois is wearing for this meeting, it makes her look like she's got tattoo sleeves, and I was like, what happened? Lois got really turned into a baker all of a sudden. But yeah, so they go to this restaurant where she's going to meet the senator dude, or the business dude, whatever he is, and
one and the same anymore.
Yeah, and Renee spots a guy with a gun and dives in and kind of saves the day. And it leaves it on this place where someone really didn't want him to talk to her, but she's not sure which one of them was the target. Well, they try to take her out because she's investigating this, or did they take him out because he was going to talk? Or, and obviously he does get taken out, but it's this question of, was he the target or was it her, and they just got him instead?
Right.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished either way, because Lois doesn't know.
There's no information to get now either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But no, I'm loving the shady espionage kind of aspect to this book.
Yeah,
that's been great. I think it's maybe the most consistent issue 1 to 2 I've ever read.
Oh yeah.
Because this is there's no big fancy big set piece or anything like that. You sure you got to shoot out at the end, but it doesn't feel, it's not a big action piece. It just feels like exactly the same as what issue 1 did.
Yeah, it's not that
because we liked issue 1 so much. That's a good thing.
This is more All the President's Men than it is anything else that a comic book usually is, I guess, is what I'm saying. It's not a superhero story.
Yeah.
Which is what a Lois Lane book to an extent should be, and having her team up with Renee is actually, I think, a really good idea. So.
Well, yeah, I like that Renee's her fixer.
Yeah.
When she needs to go get stuff, information that Lois can't go get, send her. And I like that.
Yeah. So, no, still digging Lois Lane. Quite a bit. What are you giving it, Matt?
I'm giving it a 9.
Ooh. Connor?
Well, I'm gonna be an 8.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Be non-committal.